So Joyce has a worm garden, guys.
These are my red worms. They're called red wigglers. And I feed them compost. There's a lot of apple clippings here. Oops.
Ah.
It's kind of gross.
And what do you do with the worms? You just put them back in your flower bed, or?
They're working for me.
They're working for you.
Yeah,
They're making this compost.
I'm making a mess. So here I come in and I feed them about every 10 days. These are old coffee grounds. I know that's gross. They've been in my bag way too long. Here's a salad I didn't want to eat for lunch.
There you go.
And I didn't eat it, so I throw them some new food. Spread out here some leaves I cleaned up from my house plants. So I feed them. I should give them some newspaper, but I don't have any. Keep the moisture kind of even.
That is cool.
I just feed them. Cover that layer up. I'm trying to get them to go from the top layer down. So this is compost that's been in here for the last year.
Okay.
Most of my worms have moved down into the food in the lower
Oh, so
layer.
there's holes underneath?
Yes.
There's like a gridded?
Screening.
This is screen? Okay, that's the bottom. And then you just slip through these holes. And they can move to where they know the
Yes,
food
they
is.
can move.
That is cool.
But they're red wigglers. They're not the typical worms that you find outside.
And what makes them special?
And their job is to break down. When I started with this layer, it was all newspaper. And this is what you get. It goes from newspaper to brown compost.
Oh, this was all newspaper?
It was newspaper when it started.
Wow.
And
How long did it take?
3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it takes quite a few months. So yeah, it was just newspaper. And then I also, as you can see, there's seeds. And there's some eggshells and stuff. You can see my seeds and stuff.
Yeah.
Cucumbers.
Yeah.
So yeah, they turn all that into this nice rich compost that I put in my vegetable garden and in my dahlias and use it. It's full of micronutrients and all kinds of...
So it's funny because I was
fertilizer.
trying to find a way to compost at home. I was looking into those bins that they sell.
Here, take some of this.
I know, right? I should just take some of this. So I want to get some of this, though.
You know
I want to
what
get
it's
this set up.
You know what a handful of these cost?
How much?
Like $80.
What?
I kid you not. It's outrageous.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Turf Therapy. We're back at the extension office, and today it's all about dahlias. We have Joyce here. She's going to give us a dahlia one-on-one session. Although we're doing this a little bit late, weather has been in our favor, so no worries there. All right, let's get into it.
These are my freshly dug dahlias. Came out of my ground, again, like you said, very late. So usually they come up, big lump, bring soil. Make sure when you're digging, you dig far outside so you're not cutting any of the tubers. The first thing to do is wash all the soil out.
So why do we want to make sure we get the soil off?
Well, we're going to go through this whole process, but this brings in too much fungus and bacteria.
Okay.
So we want to get all the soil out, and we also are going to be looking for where the buds are. And you can't see the buds or the growing area unless you get them all rinsed out.
Okay.
So they're just sweet potatoes. That's really all they are. They're a little
flowers.
different. Yeah, a little different than Irish potatoes. And when I say potatoes, it's because they're tubers.
Right.
And that's what potatoes are. There's different kinds of tubers. Some are stem tubers. Some tubers are root tubers. The dahlia flower happens to be a stem tuber. And we're going to talk about why that's important. Because you're going to treat these little fat tubers not like a root. You're going to treat them as if they're a modified stem.
Modified stem.
Because that's what they really are, stems.
Okay.
So I don't remember what class these were, whether they were dinner plate or not.
That's cool.
So I wash them off real good. Then you're supposed to lay and let them cure a little bit. Or after we cut them, we're going to cure. So then we bring them up to our workspace.
Okay. Cool. Let's bring them up to the workspace. You got cinnamon here?
Yeah, my cinnamon is going to be the additive to my tubers to try to reduce the amount of fungus and bacteria that eat them when I'm storing them, because that's the number one danger, is that they'll rot.
So it's so what is this? So I'm assuming something about the spice does.
Yeah, I don't even know. I
It
just
just
worked
works.
with another dahlia friend, and that's what he used
it
for an
works.
antifungal, antibacterial product.
Yeah.
So
okay.
for supplies, I've got a little list there.
Okay.
So those are kind of the things that you'll need. So I use vermiculite for my
Vermiculite.
storage.
I've heard of that before.
So I've already put it in my box here. It's
Oh, so it's like
natural
litter?
organic material. It's rock that's been expanded and heated. So it's similar to perlite. You find it in a lot of your potting mixes.
Okay.
This is just straight vermiculite.
Vermiculite. So we got a vermiculite, cinnamon, sharp knife, pruners, ZIPLOC bags, or box for vermiculite. You can do either or.
There's my box full of vermiculite.
Vermiculite.
And you can lay your tubers down inside of there and lay layers on top of layers and make sure they're never touching each other.
Okay. And this is probably our best option.
That's a good option if you want to do large pieces of the root system.
Okay.
So I'm going to divide, and usually I know what my cultivars are, and I've saved them every year with their names on them.
Mm-hmm.
But in this circumstance,
that's a neat tip.
I didn't.
I guess here we didn't know who, right?
Yeah, I didn't know who it was.
Right.
So you can write right on them, and then next year when you dig it, it'll still be on there, believe it or not.
Pro tip, guys.
Here's one with the name written on it. Of course, I can't remember what that cultivar was, but that's from a year ago. So it really does hold up even through the summer growing season.
How about that?
That's not a quality tuber, but nonetheless, it does have last year's name on it.
Right. So the reason why we're here talking about these tubers, guys, is because I will be growing tubers this year. I'm so excited, and I'm actually going to order my tubers tonight.
So let's do this more complicated rootstock.
Okay.
This is a hard one. So really I need to start with a small one.
Okay.
You need to find a piece of the stem because the plant is going to grow from buds on the stem. So you've got to locate where the old stem was.
Okay.
And you've got to have a healthy fat tuber connected to that stem.
Okay.
So as you can see, this is all junk. This is a very unhealthy one. Look at the rotten stems. Look at the rot from last year. It's nice and thick. I might have some buds inside of there, so I could salvage this possibly. See that crack in there?
Yeah,
Which says to me that that's not even healthy. So I'm going to get the old name off. I'm going to cut this, and more than likely get the old dead stem off. And it's these little, you look in there from some little swollen bumps. See that little swollen
like eyes on potatoes.
Yeah, they're like eyes on potatoes.
Okay.
Yep, so we clean off any kind of, cut any stems. Even on the ends, you can recut them.
Okay.
Cut off anything that might release moisture, too much moisture. Now, see, I've got a little rot in there because it's late in the year, so hard to say if that's really going to keep. But then I dip it in my cinnamon.
And you just dip your exposed ends in the cinnamon.
Yep.
And that just helps keep
Try to
preserve it.
inhibit my fungus and bacteria.
That was a cool tip.
And then I put it in my ZIPLOC bag. If I know the named variety, I'll put the name right on the bag.
Okay.
And I make sure my bag's nice and full, covering my tuber. And ZIPLOC him up.
Okay.
Squeeze my air out. I try to keep him underneath of my. I might have to move it around some by the time I get back. And really, I can store it just like that. So that's one easy method for storing tubers.
Okay, cool. So a tuber is each bulb that comes off of the stem, right?
Yes.
So if you were ordering tubers offline and they said 1 tuber or 10 tubers, should you expect tubers to come in one bunch or each individual tuber with a stem? Or does it vary sometimes?
Let me clarify first.
Okay.
These are all tubers. They have no value whatsoever.
Because there's no stem.
Because there's no stem connected.
Right.
These were meant. So these are junk.
Okay.
These are absolute trash.
Okay.
So when you purchase tubers, you're always going to get a piece of the stem with it. It may be small, and there may be 2 tubers connected. There might be 3 connected, depending on who you're buying them from.
Okay.
So I've done some down here. Here's a little stem that has 3 tubers connected, and there's my stem.
Okay.
And then more than likely in there, I'm believing I have some buds right up in there. I'm not real good at identifying my buds. If I was an advanced dahlia grower, I'd be able to say, oh yeah, there's a bud, there's a bud. But I just keep a chunk of the stem, and sometimes they come small. So I'm saving this small guy, believing that I've got some, I've already put cinnamon on it, so I can't really see.
Right.
But within there, I believe I've got some knots in there, little knobs, where there's buds in there.
Sweet.
If you don't have the stem, you're never going to get anything.
Never.
Sometimes I cut them up, and I make all kinds of mistakes, and I don't have any buds. So that's my objective here. I'm starting out with this big chunk. Here's my large stem.
Okay.
Really easy to identify where that is.
Here's another one, yeah.
So I need healthy, yeah. So this is the reason that you're supposed to not let your dahlia have more than one stem coming out of the ground. This
It makes it easier to
You
separate.
darn right. Again, here.
And then
Then you don't have to play this stinking game that we're going
Of
to play
trying
right
to
here.
dissect it and
That's
turn
right.
it into more than one
Yeah.
viable tuber.
So I'm using a sharp knife.
Okay.
I'm trying not to cut myself.
Yes, let's not do that. I do have
So-
some medical experience though.
Okay, so I cut that and I inspect it, trying to find any of my tubers that have
Healthy.
weak nicks.
Okay.
Very weak nick. Cutting away that old stem. Really, I'm going to go back down there and wash this again.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I'm going to rinse them again. It's when you have the soil up in those edges that you're in trouble.
Okay.
Now, just moving this around, look at that little tuber just
He's
kind of
dangling.
hanging there.
Yeah, he's barely hanging on.
Dangling, that's a perfect word. Because of the way he's dangling, I know he's not going to be healthy.
Okay.
Pulling away any of this.
And is that because he just didn't have a chance to mature
No,
enough?
it just means that I didn't handle this stem properly when I dug it.
Okay.
I probably made him, or maybe he just had a weak neck to begin with.
Okay.
So I'm cutting off my old stem because that's just going to rot. Don't want any stem in my bag. I'll be honest, I don't know just what I'm looking at on this tuber, but it's got a big chunk with it. I figure it's worth keeping, and we'll see what it looks like in spring.
I like it. I like it where I like that you're not necessarily completely positive, but you're just going with it.
Yeah.
And really, gardening and lawn care should be that simple. If you get too wrapped around the axle and you're not having fun, then what's the point in doing it, you know?
Now look at this weak little guy. And look at that one. I know that that one's not. So that's a no. And even that one looks weak. That looks weak. This junky old stem. You know what the truth of the matter is? I think I am. I'm
Yeah.
just going to give it up. You
Yeah.
find you throw away more than you keep.
But it's cool because as long as you did a good job harvesting, you don't necessarily have to buy tubers every year.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. Save myself some bucks.
Right.
You buy them from a quality place, you're going to spend $10 a tuber.
Yep, I looked them up last night and they're a little pricey, but they're going to be so worth it.
Look at all the weird roots out of this. This was probably the tuber when I bought it.
This
Because
right
these
here.
look really old. Both of these look really old and aged. This looks like the young one. Oftentimes, if you're an advanced, skilled dahlia grower, you don't keep these old tubers. But me, I'm a rookie, so I go ahead. I'm like, oh, well, it looks pretty healthy to me.
Looks good to
I
me.
think I'm going to keep that old mommy and see if she sends some sprouts for me.
Right.
Usually, you're looking for healthy eyes. That's what you're supposed to be doing, is looking for the healthy ones.
And generally, as you look at them, it's pretty easy to tell which ones. I mean, I just started this. And
Yeah, well, you can see this guy's flopping.
Yep.
So that I've found over the years, those are not ones that are going to overweight you.
Now,
That's
if
gonna
you
be
were
trash.
somewhere warmer, you could leave them. Like I was looking at the zones. I think we're in zone 7.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're in zone 7 for the climate. And if you look it up, I think any website that's selling dahlias, they should have it on there, and they'll have the zones, and they'll tell you whether or not you actually need to pull them out of the ground, or leave them, or you can leave them year round. Yeah, I wanted to get it clear. I wanted to clean it up first. Yeah, I agree. Let's just cut it here.
Yep, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll lay it down in here because we've got to put a new layer in. when you're buying tubers from stores, this is the size you're buying. You're buying little ones, and they're sending them to you in peat moss. And you don't have to use vermiculite. You can use perlite. And look up in the American Dahlia Society, and they'll give you some other ideas. Perlite is not. I used perlite last year, but you won't find perlite listed on the websites. Okay. And I didn't have good success with perlite.
No.
And I didn't clean my tubers very well last year either. So I had all kinds of fungus. I had all kinds of mold all over them. Really? I threw them all away.
Oh, you had to start.
Failed altogether. Yeah. But the year before that my professional Dahlia buddy was with me, they were very successful.
Okay.
We used the cinnamon, we used the vermiculite, we did it all correct.
So he came and gave you a.
So yes, he did. That was a successful year.
Put the final touches on. So we have everything in here. We got the bags, the little smaller bags. We have some that we're just throwing straight into vermiculite and putting layers on it. So Joyce is going to do a little experiment and see which one holds better, if there's any difference at all, right?
Some of the websites will tell you need some air circulation through them. Of course, this is not much air circulation.
Right.
These still need to be monitored. I'll look in my bag every month to make sure my tubers aren't rotten.
Okay.
Because if one rots, it could rot the neighbor.
Okay.
And even in the bags, I'm going to monitor them. So I'm going to check them periodically.
Okay. So don't just set it and forget it.
Right. You're supposed to look at them.
Okay. Cool.
And that's it.
That's it. That's all, folks. So thanks for checking in. We're all done. We're going to go put them in this heated garage they have out here. You want to keep them where? 45 to 55 degrees. And that's it. That is Dahlias. So hope if you're interested in growing Dahlias this year, follow along with me. Let's see how bad I messed this up. No, I'm joking. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be successful because I'm going to stay positive. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys later. They do that good of a job.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming back. So, how can I get one of these then?
You just go online. I think I bought.
What is this called?
A vermicompost.
A vermicomposter, guys. And this is perfect if you're doing like a lot of house plants, right? Or even a flower bed, like you said.
Oh, it's great. It's so rich. It's so nutritious for your plants.
Dude, guys, this feels. I mean, look at it.
Make it into a tea, compost tea.
Compost tea.
And you can even go into a competition at some of your local fairs.
And have them test it?
Yeah, they'll.
Do you test this?
Compete against it. No, you'd have to mail it away and it costs you money.
Yeah.